5 decider between Liquid and CLG. Coming into this, everybody predicted that it would be, well, not everyone. I said 3-0 actually.
You did?
I'm not even a believer in Liquid. Everyone said 3-1. We're beyond that. We are now at least 3-2. We are going to be 3-2. It's just a matter of who. It could still be Liquid to take this and surprise everyone in the predictions.
And what a tantalizing prospect it is. Overpass. We already saw this matchup come into it, and it was when both T sides of either team were absolutely horrendous, has to be said. Very static and looked a little bit lost, but CT sides being very strong. Actually went down to the 30th round last time these two guys met on this map, with Adren not having the kit to actually close it out. So definitely an exciting prospect to replay it. It seems like tonight Liquid are definitely on a much better form, but have they had time to work out their Overpass T-side issues?
Wow, that's the big thing. And I mean, the same can be said for CLG.
Yes.
I still look at the rounds that Liquid were winning on that CT side, and they were so close that you still would think CLG's T side might just edge out Liquid's in this case, that maybe a few of those rounds that were close in the last match will slip away from Liquid, so they definitely have to step it up. There's going to be no coasting on either side. That goes without saying, but the fact of the matter is that if they have the same problems, I don't think it's going to be lucky for them twice to get back into it on the T. And remember, they could still start out on the CT if they win the knife round.
Well, yes, that's good to mention as well. This is the best of 5. We've been having set sides throughout this, but the best of 5 last map does go to the knife round. And after what we've seen so far from the T side of both the teams, it's going to be very hungry to start on that CT side, just to make sure they can get that 12-3 scoreline and ensure themselves a decent amount of time to try and get some T rounds on the board. But has to be said though, Liquid a little bit sloppy in places, allowing those 4-on-1 situations going against them, and actually having some questionable faces. Obviously, this team hasn't been together too long with the addition of Hiko, but there's no excuse sometimes for those 4-on-1 situations. It kind of happened a lot in the European campaigns as well. They come down saying, oh, we're not experienced enough, our communication doesn't really work out, and it really can't happen anymore. Those 4-on-1s can't be lost. It was actually just down to people being greedy as Adren on top of the train there with the P250, if you remember, just trying to overphase and kind of end the situation right there and then, and lost the round. So knife round will be very important. You can see all 10 players are on the server, and I assume we'll be going live very shortly, but I think that's what would be the main factor map, just whoever gets the CT side. After what I saw from both teams on their T, they just both looked lost, to be honest. Very poor execution from both teams. It seemed like Liquid only had the option of rushing B or slow playing long, trying to get picks, didn't have an execution onto A once they actually got some control or a pick. And that actually rang true for both teams, to be honest. So hopefully they've had time to actually work on what's gone wrong. Obviously, CLG living in a house together, you'd assume after every loss they kind of work out what's going on.
Lots of opportunity to do so. Yeah, easier to review demos when you're all sitting there. Pull up a chair, get some popcorn, everyone can do it together. It's hard to do that as a group.
Especially after that. Even though you won the map, I'd say, okay, guys, the T side was horrible now. Let's kind of just sit down tomorrow. Let's work out what went wrong, where we could have been better, and potentially add some more strings to our bow. But
right, and to finish the sentence, it's harder to do that in a group online. There's no structure where you can mutually watch demos unless you want to share a screen somehow, but even that gets annoying and hard to structure when you're all
even when we used to do that back in the day, you could always tell someone wouldn't be paying 100% attention, and then you go to the actual scrim and you're just like, okay, guys, why didn't that go well? He's like, oh, I've forgotten what I'm doing. So that's why when you live in a house together, at least you can sit everyone down on their ass and say, right, you're going to watch this and we're going to do it like this, practice it, do some dry runs on the server, and then we'll go forward. So CLG definitely in a great opportunity there with that gaming house. I wish I had that opportunity back in the day.
You've got a casting house now.
Do I?
Yeah.
It's more of a H1Z1 house.
That's true. That's true.
we don't sit there practicing casting, do we?
We should.
Probably.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'll cast every morning in the shower.
I'll watch.
No, thank you. You can listen through the door.
Okay, fine.
While we're waiting, apparently someone was using the washroom on Liquid's side, so it'll just be a moment longer, and then we'll get back underway again. Knifing for sides to start this off, and that is a big thing in this series. It was last night as well on this exact map. Luminosity got the CT start. They got a big lead. They won the second half pistol, and it looked more one-sided than it could have been because it just enough to put them on the edge. So I think it was 16-4 or something in the end against CLG. But if CLG had picked up the second half pistol and the momentum swung, that could have been a very close game as well.
Here we go then. Oh, I thought that was actually the red from JDM. He's actually typing stop in capital letters. So, you're not ready. Yeah, this is it. If you're just joining us, it is 2-2. It's been a long old slog here, back and forth. Both teams looking for middle at times. Dust 2 is one that stood out for me the most. Is when we actually saw Liquid firing on all cylinders and looking like a really strong unit. That's why I was disappointed on Train. They didn't really take that mentality over. They seemed like they got lost again on the T side. They tried one round again, very aggressive, but it just wasn't polished enough. Dust 2 being one of the maps everyone knows how to play. It can be very simple in executions. But here we go then. We have arrived at the knife round. We know how much this means to both teams. Both got strong CT halves. T side's questionable as to what they can do.
Absolutely.
Ali saying, have fun, please lose. I think that does ring true for this knife round. They know how much is on the line of this.
Are they splitting up? Are they sending a flank
Tactics,
player?
dude.
Oh, okay, no, he's coming back now. I love it, the decoys. Also, armor as well in this config, so that does make a bit of a difference. Some servers, when they do a knife round, I think ESCA is one of them, they do not use armor. But CLG, just dominating it. They'll get the start they want. CT is all theirs to begin with, and we are going to have a similar situation. We're going to see the same test we saw for Liquid right off the start, where they will, in fact, have to start out on that terrorist side. And they're going to have to get rounds. A pistol even would help. That would have put them on 5 the other night as opposed to 2, but that's just the beginning.
Liquid not wasting any time. They get it ready up straight away. So presumably the game plan has been set. Pistol always going to be a massive factor. As we said, CLG probably dominating those out of the 4 maps we have seen. Liquid did manage to pick up one on Train. But here we go then. Let's have a look towards the buy. Liquid going 5 sets of armor. So that normally means either a straight up B rush or you go towards middle and try and lock down any CT aggression by actually challenging them. So looks like it's going to be the former as they make their way towards the B side. It's keeping things simple and potentially just doing a B split here.
Off we go, and in they are, already through Monster. Hayes pushed back toward Jungle. Finesse has to hit that first shot, does, looks for more, still hasn't lost any HP, so he's more than willing to take the fight. Adren's got the only kill so far for Liquid. Fugly will follow it up. Finesse goes down, but bomb dropped, and Fugly very, very low. Also segregated heavily from Nitro, who's trying to do battle against Tarek, but the longer he gets trapped inside this jungle position, the more chance CLG will have to capitalize on him. Good execution on Tarek, though, and now following that up on JDM. He saved Fugly's life, and excuse me, now they've got the man advantage, as Cutler's been spotted already coming through the balcony. Slows his approach, but again, that bomb is still down just in front of him, so Cutler knows he's got control of it. Waits for Fugly to show himself. He's the man on low HP. Nitro, in this situation, it's not common you see a player walking, but he just wants to get to that bomb before having to battle. And now as he does, he also gets the shot. Beautiful pistol round from Nitro. 3 kills to turn things back.
Yeah, definitely looked like CLG had that one all tied up. And Nitro, he's been pretty hot all night, manages to find 3 huge kills with a silenced USP there. This came down to huge individual play and nothing more than that. They did a simple B rush and actually lost the first couple of frags. But Nitro, look at these crisp kills. That gun can be so deadly, actually making it work for him. Seems like all 5 players, actually bar one, it's going to be Fugly back towards middle. Going to be going towards B once again. They're trying to keep it nice and simple here and not allow the CTs to have any sort of footing into the round.
Entrances are successful as well. Again, Nitro picking up another first kill. Fugly will follow that up with 2, and again, he was a contributing factor in the last round. They'll close it out just as quickly as that. It's all 5 members alive and 2-0 for Team Liquid.
So there's no nonsense. 2 B rushes in a row. I think they've realized that if they try and go slowly, that's going to be picked off and be static again and allow the CTs to actually tear them apart. So just opting to do 2 B rushes in a row. Why not go for 3? Definitely viable. The mind games can start at that point. And it looks like they may be doing it. Yeah, they actually will be. So straight up again. Why not? But this time, look at the stack from the CT. 4 players towards B. Could be interesting as Elige makes his way over the Mac 10.
Yeah, he's going to be the one that's scouting this play. Successful as well, but didn't account for the fact that Finesse would be hugging the wall, so down he goes when he arrives.
That's actually fine, though, because he only had the Mac 10. They've got the body armor, and the Mac 10 doesn't really mean too much there, and allows the T's just to fall back. They've called the stack was there, and just go a little bit slower now.
Fugly is going to slowly rotate over and join his teammates. Pauses for a moment before entering into the stairwell to do so because Tarek was lurking on the other side of bathrooms, and potential was there that Tarek might walk out. Would have been a good pick to have, just make things that much easier on the take, but Vanessa has now come closer to that choke point at Sandbags, and he hits the shot brilliantly on Fugly. Down he goes in an AK that's available for grab, and it is going to be done exactly that now by Finesse, as Hiko will find JDM. That'll even things back up. But still, CLG are holding out Liquid right now. They have found Finesse trying to flank, but Tarek with a brilliant shot over the edge of the bomb site. It's down to 2 versus 1 nonetheless. Hayes still waiting inside that smoke, hoping he'll catch the bomb planter. And Adren's going to reload that Mac 10. Hayes just found more than that. He's got Hiko instead. And 1 man survives. as we go into the gun round, which means heavy reinvestment from Liquid and also means potentially not having guns for a second round after.
I don't think they'll be too worried about that. They just wanted to win that round. They've got the same amounts of T rounds as they did in the game the other day. So they're off to a good start already.
That's true.
So 3 is already, they've hit the magic number. So here we go. JDM in the AWP. We know how scary he can be on this map. This time we're going towards Flower Bed. Paris is going to boost him up. Once again, Liquid investing heavily towards the B bomb side. Whether they'll be doing a fake here, I'm not so sure. But just holding up, and actually looks like they'll be going for a pretty much full-on B smoke play, judging by the setup they're actually employing right now.
Yeah. Well, with the guns up, everyone's definitely playing a lot more passively. JDM 64 AWP was looking at A aggressively. They've since fallen back, boosted them on the park bench because they don't have any vision at the front of the bathrooms, which does mean they have to still consider the possibility of anyone being there. But in considering that, in being slow to react, it's given a better entrance chance here for Liquid on B. As they march in, Elige may make it to the pillar. They've been slowed and deterred as damage dealt on Fugly gives CLG a bit of a chance. Not only that, they found 2 kills on the entry to counter this out, and all the guns getting the kills on the first gun round. Fugly managing only 1, and Liquid will fall. It'll be 1 now in the first for CLG.
So we saw Liquid the first time this encounter happened, actually just going for really passive set standards and not really finding many picks. This time they're actually trying to do a little bit of change of mentality. We see top teams like VP and Navi going in for these pretty much straight up B set pieces there, and it was a little bit too slow for me. They waited too long, and once they actually got into the bomb site, didn't actually swarm the site quickly enough, allowed the CTs to rotate. Frags coming heavily in favor of the CTs, and now Liquid onto the Tech-9 buy. They have got a few smokes to play with, a couple of flashbangs as well. They will take control of middle. No CT aggression this time, but Tarek pushing all the way to the end of long, smokes it off, and the spots a CT there, spots a T, sorry, and JDM takes down Nitro.
AWP to start things off. Cutler's going to wait inside the site behind the truck, spotting up Fugly before the smoke was deployed, and down he goes. So another flawless potential round here for CLG to build bank. They'll need to as well, because they aren't exactly wealthy despite their first victory, and JDM would close it out. Hayes got a Dren before, so guns immediately back up for Liquid, and Adren's got more than enough money to go for the AWP should he choose. Again, he's not one that often likes to do so on the T side. Well, guess what? There it is.
This is where JDM comes into his own. Once he starts rolling with this, getting a couple of kills on the board, I wouldn't be surprised he starts facing towards middle, going with the very aggressive angles. But this time, looks like Tarek will just be boosting him up onto the flower bed once again. So we're going to take our attention towards Brent and see where he's going to be going towards. He's just be waiting for any sort of CT pushes, but it's going to be Tarek going aggressive towards long again. I actually like this from him. Getting right down there. He's got the backup.
Look how close and desperate this is. Nitro. Is he going to get a flash from his teammate? What's he waiting for to take that peek against Tarek, who also has JDM further back for additional support? Instead, JDM's going to take that op in toward the connection point of the bathrooms, get even closer. Much tighter angle, and Tarek's gone running. They've adapted, they've changed things up, and Liquid's going to try and pursue upon this, but watch for JDM, downed by Dren. Big win. First time he brings out the T-side op, and that's exactly what he has to do. He has to beat JDM in those situations, and now they've got room to wiggle. Room to squeeze toward this A site. Finesse and Hayes still held on B. Hiko's going to rotate back, join the raiding party, and it's Tarek and Cutler that have to come up massive to slow this down. Smoke's already deployed. Tarek's forward of that goes for the peak, only spots one and manages to safely cross over. And now we can address the issue in a much more concerned and confined area in front of the bathroom, where Fugly is getting much and much closer with every passing second. Slow it a little bit. This does allow for the rotations, but the smoke's now out. Fugly, he was going to go toward the truck, but Cutler's already downed by Elige on the entrance. So again, Elige picking up another kill. He'll now go back and address the flank, which is occurring as Hayes will take down a Dren. It's Elige that gets finesse, but Hayes isn't done. Again, this guy tonight has been such an instrumental factor in CLG's performances, but he's still got 3 to go. It's 2 already. It would be another haste. The ace from Hayes. But unlikely with the bomb down, and Hiko's just going to stare at him and wait for him to show himself. Down he goes. 3 now for Liquid. 2 only for CLG.
Much better from Liquid.
4, excuse me.
They seem to, they got the first opening pick, controlling long properly, isolating JDM towards the toilets there. They try to flash him out. He gets taken down by Adren, and they actually work up the map together, pushing the CTs back onto the bomb site, execute really cleanly as well. 2 smokes going down, flashbangs coming through, bomb gets planted. There is a little bit of confusion when Hayes gets those kills, but they react to it and make sure they get that round on the board. That's a huge round for them to win and go 4-2 here. This is the chance for them to break the CT economy if they do win this round. But you can see JDM has got the AWP here once more. And this time they won't be focusing their attention towards long. It's back towards middle. And T's are playing a very passive game this time. A little boost going towards their playground. Probably making his way up. Steps and connector. But no one getting any sort of real information yet. It's just going to be down to Tarek and JDM whether they can spot the T's here as they fall back to the bomb site, in fact.
Calculate the decision as well. They go for that park boost again, that park sign boost on the A site, which does mean that they have more passive play on the long A position. But right now it is going to be Team Liquid slowly gathering toward a B push. Finesse, Hayes, we saw already are inside the site, and Hayes tried to get aggression, realizing that door was open and an aid was thrown over. None of those bullets will land, and in they go. No smoke, finally it is. Well timed, in fact, from Finesse. That'll slow everything. Look how much space that buys for CLG on the entry. Liquid get held up massively, and when they go in, they're completely isolated. Fugly gets one, but goes down as he's the only exposed member to 2 CLG players. Bomb gets down, but it is still a man advantage for CLG as they attempt the retake. Adren looking for shots with the AWP, but eventually has to turn his attention for the potential flank. That's not occurring, so ultimately, he's just separated himself from the play, and down in the end, it's a beautiful retake from CLG.
Yeah, as you said, this great usage of the equipment there, just dropping a smoke at the perfect time, and you can see Liquid getting very apprehensive. Some players wanted to commit through the smoke, some not, and it just turned into a bit of a mess there. Going through, first person died, the rest of the guys forced to come through at that stage, didn't really find a refrag either, and that's going to be difficult for their money situation after winning that last one. They go into this round of $1,400, and that's another one on the board for CLG. They are still trading here 3-4, but you would assume they will tie this round up. Looking into the buy of Liquid here, they will be getting 2 smokes, make it 3. Tech-9's on the board as well. Actually 4 smokes here. You could assume something quite tactical coming in now. JDM once again going up against middle with Tarek.
Potentially as they look toward A to try and get that wall of smoke out and go for a very fast plant, but that doesn't account for the fact that they've got forward aggression on the A site, which is quite common for the CT side. So if CLG can win the fight before it even gets there that far, those smokes may not come into play.
This is it. JDM on the offensive angle here. The smokes will be deployed, I'd assume, before he actually gets to see anyone. They're cleared out long. And now the reaction comes in, just knocking off some key choke points there. There's the smokes from the T's.
Key, though. So far, the key doesn't fit, doesn't land the shot. And that means now that they can push a little more forward. Luckily, Tarek's there with his M4. And that is more than enough. Eventually down by Elige, but the damage dealt. They do get into. They try and go for the bomb plant. That was the goal in all of this. And as though the bomb is close, it's not going to be in position to do so, as Cutler will come back around the box. And a jump shot appropriate to take down Elige.
So it was a nice idea from the T's. Just invest slightly into some smoke grenades. But Tarek playing in front of them there does not locked it down before they had a proper chance to actually get onto the bomb site. 2 big frags from him. And you can see him just playing in front of those smokes and taking advantage of some M4 play. So now then, 4-4. Team Liquid Step definitely still in this. More rounds than they got 2 nights ago. So let's see if they can bounce back into this one. Seems like Hiko will be going towards B site by himself, lurking over there, waiting for some CT aggression. As they go back to these sort of standard plays now. Fugly and Elige going through connector. Tarek pushed up offensively once again. Adren going to be facing him. Not going to find him as they fall back just in time.
Out JDM again just to lock those choke points as he gets more passive toward the site. And what can the AKs do? We saw Dren win the battle one-on-one with the AWP against JDM. And Liquid with already 4 rounds. They could find another gun round here. There's not a ton of money for CLG to work with. Would be enough to push them over the edge. There's undoubtedly a thought in everyone's mind that this round, or this map rather, will go the distance. Every round will count As JDM throws out a nade that catches a Liege down to 70 HP. Tarek again in that corner, so very similar setup from what we saw last time. And if you don't remember, Tarek picked up 2 in this corner before he was answered. Flash comes in, he's forced to look away. He can't find the shot, and they get him in turn this time, much before he can do any damage, in fact. And Fugly following that up. Let's Nitro now get JDM, and he'll go forward to find Hazed. Very well done, Liquid, on this entry. Very fast indeed. We don't often see them go away. It was very rare, in fact, the other night they even had a chance to. As Finesse gets back into a Liege, he's now the only one remaining. 1 on 3. He's on the flank. All that Liquid have to do is sit around long enough for him to not be able to get on the bomb and then run out through the tunnels below, and they'll be safe.
Taking care of there, Drenya whiffing a little bit there. But you know what was interesting about that round is that CLG actually had 4 players onto the A-bomb side. That was actually a really nice take from Liquid, managing to lock it down. Tarek especially pushed up in the same position. It looked like he was going to get a frag there, but it seems like Liquid have polished this up, and they actually are taking key areas properly and making sure they eliminate every sort of situation that can be presented to them. And now they actually take the lead here. This is so much stronger than what we saw 2 nights ago. CT's actually forced onto a pistol here. Finesse going into the connector. Practically ready for it though. And they should be aware of what's going on here. Going for the first frag here. It's going to go in their favor as well. Fugly does take down Tarek there. Now we're going to a 5 on 4. T's looking strong.
T's looking very strong. Again, that was the round that they needed. If they could have broken the economy and get to 6, how massive would that be? If things go down as they did the other night for Liquid CT side, if it can get rolling in the same fashion. He'd go on entry this time. He's got the opening pick on the bomb site. Fugly gets hazed. The pistol's not doing much at all. Nitro does get caught out by Finesse. A little bit of a twitch reaction there. He's a bit surprised the play came in as it did. Cutler will get Fugly at least 1 more for CLG, and very low HP for Elise. If he gets found out right now, at least it could be more economic damage, but it's another round that's looking very favorable for Liquid to pick up. 6-4 T side. Massive improvements over what we saw 2 nights ago.
Yeah, they've definitely done their homework here. Before, they could get the first pick. They just didn't have the execution to get onto the site. Now it's so much more polished. They actually have all the set smokes. They have the flashbangs to actually isolate certain areas of the bomb site, get in together, and allow their big players to get the frags. And it's working for them really well. Even on the anti-eco rounds, it looks a lot cleaner. Getting into the bomb sites, Eco making big frags, getting into there. And I'm actually really impressed there. This is looking really good for them. So Liquid, like you said, if they can turn up on the CT side like they did, this is a big problem for CLG. It's getting a bit difficult for them now. They need to start getting some momentum back in their favor. We have a look at the money for them. They can buy into this round. Will JDM be picking up the AWP? Hasn't had too much impact, you know, so far. Only 3 frags on the board for him. I'd like to see him go towards B, perhaps. That could be interesting to try and just go for that first pick, but right now, momentum in favor of Liquid. They're going to be going back to this long setup, it seems like. JDM boost up on the flower bed. You assume Tarek going down aggressive on long.
No, he's actually going to get to the connector, yeah. Which does give them a more forward presence, and that compensates for the fact that they've got 3 players on B. So they can still have attention to that front bathrooms mid spot into the A site and not have to retake essentially from long, which is so easy to cut off. It's very common that we see CT teams lock themselves out in that position.
Well, you can look at the CTs. They actually haven't got any incendiaries. Only 3 smokes, so definitely advantage towards Liquid here. As a Liege sets up the Molotov. And now they will make their execution onto long. That normally clears out the tree. CT's playing very passively this round, though.
Tarek above the sign. Rather boosting his teammate above the sign. Will watch for long when they come down toward it, and Adren looks to be the man to do so. He's setting up right now for a set smoke, which lands. That'll cover most of that angle they want back, but they've still got their attention to the front of the bathrooms, and the shot is successful. JDM with 1. Haste follows it up. Elise does get JDM down, so the op's gone, and Adren is still pushing forward. Tarek's caught in transition, and that's the problem with the boosted sign, because there's nowhere to hide, specifically when they have a choke point and crossfire set up like that, covered as Liquid did. Bomb now down. Wow. And they close the round. 7 for Liquid. This is much, much better than what we saw 2 evenings ago.
It's really controlled. They're actually just getting, pushing the CTs back. We saw that boost coming in for JDM. Only managed to get 1 kill. Perhaps should have just fallen back at that stage. He went for the next, missed the shot slightly, and allowed the frags to work in the T favor. But it just seems like they actually have worked out this map now. They know what they need to do to get onto the bomb site, locking the CTs down and not letting them set up huge crossfires is what we saw a couple of nights ago. But now the CT's on yet another eco here. And this actually puts Liquid on the cusp of winning this half. And considering they only got 3 rounds, and the first time we saw this matchup, this is almost comparing night and day.
Nitro again getting more aggressive toward the front of the bathrooms. Again, Tarek spots him this time, but with pistols has to fall off. JDM will open it up. Down they go into the tunnels. JDM follows it up. It's a Dren to go down. He got the kill on Finesse beforehand. He was low on HP, but this does give the man advantage to CLG. And not only that, JDM has picked up an AWP. Thankfully, Hiko is wise to the fact that he could be rotating, and I do wonder if Death Cam came into play there.
3-on-3 situation now. CT's unable to gather any guns there. They neutralize the round and keep the rifles in their favor. So you can see they are opting towards the A-bomb side. Cutler going to be on there with Tarek, desperately trying to get any sort of intel they can. And it's just going to leave Hayes towards the B side by himself, but Terrorist working up with the bomb. You can see Cutler in that off angle trying to just work out whether he can do anything with this. It's going to be a position that's going to be checked. And with the Molotov as well.
Cutler gets Nitro as well. This is looking good for CLG. If they could pick up that kill as well, it would have been all said and done. It's still down to a 2-on-2 and low HP for Elise, who's got the bomb. Smokes out in front of it, but that may not compensate for the fact that Tarek's going to come into the smoke and he goes for the knife. And now it's down to Hiko. He did find Hayes, and this still looks good, but the smoke, it's so deep and so dense that Tarek gets away from it. Hiko has to hold this 3 seconds left. He manages to get the task done. I thought Tarek might try and spray into it, but for fear of giving away his situation, they're going to play Ring Around the Rosie. Hiko can't find him, and Tarek's just going to wait. He's going to use time to his favor, but Hiko's still going to hold on and clutch out yet another round for Team Liquid.
What an ending to that round it was. Knife kill coming in into the smoke, and it seemed like Hiko got himself in a horrible situation, just like you said, walking through that smoke, and does manage to pull it off though. Very interesting round, and one Liquid are very thankful they actually take, because that puts them on to winning this half. 8-4 now.
Oh, that's massive. That's huge after what we saw on their CT side the other night.
Now they're going for that chance B play. They've got the enough momentum. Nitro going to be going in first. Pushes back the CTs, and will he be able to find his entry kill once again?
And Cutler at least gets Nitro. They need every round they can get at this point, CLG, for any chance at all. First kill, that helps. Nitro gone, but they've lost FNS now to Elige. That brings it back to 4-4. Tarek needs to hit this. He almost doesn't, but gets the kill in the end. Jumps and dodges everywhere as much as possible to avoid the spam coming through the wall. And it pays off because JDM gets fugly and he follows up on a Dren, now leaving just Hiko 1-on-4. I've already known what I've said about what he needs in a 1-on-4 situation tonight. This time it's not as desperate because it's 8-4, still 4 Liquid, but another round for CLG.
Well, this is a very dangerous situation, although CLG doing well not to really drop any frags there. So even if they lose this round, they should be okay going to the next. I guess, well, it's definitely going to be a difficult situation. Hayes money is the only one really that's that healthy. So JDM with the AWP once again, has to be said, not having as much impact as we normally see from him. Tarek and him going back towards that mid setup. Tarek maybe going for the early face towards Fountain here as well. Gets flashed in, actually gets flashed back by the T's as well. So Scout coming in from Adren here, more of a force buy for them. Interesting they wouldn't just full eco going into the last round, but going to Scout buy.
Shoulder break out, JDM. Waits for the second attempt and makes it successfully so against Elige. And Adren's limited to just a scout, so this indicates that the economy is very low, and JDM now hitting Adren means that if CLG can win this round, put them on 6, they've got a great chance to bring it to 7. Flash over top, and JDM's not done being aggressive. Tarek will find Fugly pushing into the bathrooms, and naturally so, he'll find the second, as he so commonly does, and that will do it. That'll be the round. 4 men still up for CLG, 8-6, and a very tight economy for the T side.
Yeah, I'm interested to see why they went for a scout buy and like some SMGs as well. Could have just ecoed that one and gone into the last round with a full buy, and now they're going to be on full Tech 9s. Obviously, anything can happen with this, but I'd suggest them just going over towards B, maybe getting some smokes, trying to force a post-plant situation. And it seems like they won't be going towards that just yet, so one player just going to be Hiko over towards B by himself, and that aggression from the CTs continues. Actually, 3 players committing to it this time.
Yeah, and this is going to be hard for Liquid. Again, their executions have been much better tonight, but they've got to try and use pistols now to do it, and Tarek is there to come out and support his teammate. We're down to just 1 remaining. It's Hiko, 1-on-4 yet again. This time he's got Tarek, but JDM will close it off. 8-7. They'll split the half, but crucially, 8 rounds on the terrorist side for Team Liquid. That's very impressive.
So obviously they won the pistol there. But I think if you told Liquid before they went into this game you can win 8 rounds on the T side, they would have bit your hand off of that prospect. So regardless of how the last 3 rounds went down, they still do win the half. And on the T side, that is absolutely massive. So presumably, if things go down the way they did the other night, and Liquid can get the same sort of footing they did on their CT side, they should be in very good stead here to close this one out. If you just joined us, it is 2-2 in the lower bracket of PGL Season 1 NA Group. There's some highlights here for you of the last round. Pretty simple clear up, CLG. How are you feeling about this?
It's definitely lived up to the expectations. What a great series we've had all night. Every map has proved to be entertaining. Dust was a little bit one-sided for Liquid. 2 maps on either side of that were very entertaining.
It's just like Train was similar to how we saw Liquid the other night. That's when they looked a little bit lost.
Right, and then that's the only side we've seen them lost, though.
But now, this is like they've obviously done some work and they've actually put some time in. And I told you, after you see them at events and stuff, they always go back and watch their demos. They try to work out what went wrong. And that has been very true tonight as well. Really have locked down what CLG have been presenting to them. And actually very impressed with their executions as well. That's what they were lacking before. And all of a sudden they actually have got the smokes going down, the step flashbangs, Molotovs, getting CTs out of there. It's been really impressive. So looks like we will be jumping into this one. 8 seconds remaining. And obviously the pistol is going to be massive in the context of things going here.
Huge. I mean, again, if you want to compare it, Train T-side for Liquid, yeah, it was quiet. You can compare that to CLG being quiet on Dust, too. The other 2 games, like I said, 16-14 either way. The series has been great. There's no question about it, and it's definitely worthy of 5 maps, which is now split dead even at halftime. But with Liquid, if it's any indication of what we saw the other night, it might be CLG who could come out flat here. They've got to fight it in. They've got to come out swinging, and the pistol round, I dare say, is even more important for them.
And we saw a B rush coming in from Liquid. It seems like all 5 players for CLG will convince into the B side as well.
But they've got a bit of a stack toward that site, and they've got Fugly already down toward the middle stairs, which will get a lot of information. He'll hear Finesse in the water in front of him, and down through Monster they go. If Fugly can buy his time right, he might catch off FNS, and he kills inside the site. Meanwhile, Liquid's got the advantage there, down to 4 versus 2 already, and Adren's going to follow it up with his second of the round. Absolutely brilliant to start it off for them. JDM64 last alive, gone in the end by Nitro. Only able to get Hiko beforehand, and Liquid now on 9.
Yeah, what a read, sending 4 CTs over to that B bomb side. The thing about Overpass is it's very easy to rotate between the both bomb sides, so if you take the chance, B rush is very common. We saw that in the first half. I think that's a great play from Liquid, and one of the best investments they probably could do there, because winning both pistols after you've won the T half 8-7 is definitely huge. And you can see now T's won't be actually investing too heavily into this. They have got some Tech 9s and Deagles, but no armor to speak of. So, or utility of that fact. So they will be just trying to get some kills. They're working their way up connector. CTs are going to spot that with a decent nade off. That should do some big damage there. Look at the damage it has done. Now I can just fall back to the bomb sites and wait for the T's to try and get on there.
Dren and Fugly are going to try and establish a bit of a crossfire inside the A site, but first that means Fugly has to win the battle against FNS, does so. Nitro also present and ready for duty. Primed with the MP7. They've fallen back a little bit though, Counter Logic Gaming, taking the bomb all the way back toward Fountain. In fact, going to head over toward Long. Interesting that he does it that way and not through the connector, because he was already forward of that position, but I think this is just the deciding moment if they want to take that to B or otherwise.
He's a 5-on-3. One player is going to be hazed, making his way up with the Desert Eagle. Just seeing if he can open the bomb. So may have an opportunity here. Get spotted, but not able to land the shot. Fugly locks him down. 5-on-2 now. Tarek on very low HP.
You'll get a little more forward of this, and that's pretty much going to do it. JDM down, the bomb's in the hands of Tarek, but very low HP. Liquid hit double digits first and on the CT side. That's crucial.
I'm interested to see whether CLG were going for something here. They didn't force up that round. I thought they may try something like a Galil buy, the surprise one this time, but actually going to be going full discipline mode. No bomb planted for them whatsoever, so Tech 9s, no armor, a couple of flashbangs. Looks like all 5 players heading towards B once again, so will they be rushing? That's the question. Always going with a slower play here. Smoke blocking them out. They make they went through. They thought that was suited to the ways of game.
Very aggressive play, and they tried to funnel CLG into that because they Molotov'd off Monster with a flash as well, which would lead them into the water. So the aggression was planned. Didn't come out flawlessly, but it pays off in the end as they still will secure this round. Not done just yet. Adren will eventually do so by getting JDM, and now Guns will come out 11-7. And it's going to be all AKs. They've got money in for JDM's AWP if he elects to go for it T-side. He's thinking about it.
I think he probably will.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, so like he's aware that the CTs probably won't have one after keeping so many men alive there. So Fama's going to be in the hands of Adren. He's normally the designated AWPer. So let's see whether JDM can open up this round.
Smoke on the choke point as well. Derek's going to come up from the stairwell. There won't be much waiting immediately above it. Adren is lurking more and more aggressively toward the front of the bathrooms, but eventually he'll fall back and leave that to Nitro. No one putting any attention right now from Team Liquid toward Long. So much shuffling going on in this A site, considering they haven't got much of a read. The aggression was more passive, and now they've turtled inside of that site to allow for a rotation and give a 3-man stack on the B site, which has no presence right now from CLG. They're gone heavily onto this A site as Tarek gets forward in the bathroom position. They've also got the boost going on for Cutler and Hazed out toward Long at that flower bed, but watch the smoke at Long. That's going to be a factor because Adren has given up on peeking it. That means he's got more support toward Nitro, who's in the corner. But that's going to be smoked off. He's not going to have the vision. They want to go for the default plant, so Adren's already going to throw the Molotov out on top of it, deter that from happening, but they're not going in right away. They're looking for kills first, CLG, and Hayes finds Fugly. Now the bomb plant's going to happen. They can't find the angle on it. Tarek, he goes down in the end, but the bomb is already planted, and this gives a good chance for CLG to hold on in the post plant and finally pick up a round on this second half, although it's not done just yet. Nitro still alive. Will find Hazed with the M4, very low on HP, but job done. And likewise, it leaves just 3 players remaining for CLG, although when they push forward, JDM comes up with one. Elise follows it up, and likewise, he takes down JDM. It's just left to Cutler, and Hiko's gonna go find him toward Long. Down he goes. If he gets there before the defuse is done, he's got a chance, but Adren gets the kill just in time. And Liquid will hold on for number 12.
What a huge round that is to play in terms of the CT economy. They didn't invest into the AWP, kept Adren on the FAMAS, holding off the A execute there. Bomb does go down, but somehow they find the frags through the smoke. Nitro instrumental of that as well. So, round number 20 here, you can see after getting the bomb down, CLG can force into it, but only a couple of smokes to play with. Nothing in terms of utility whatsoever. So they need to be finding some frags here. Won't have the same execute ability they did that round. So going towards Long, going to try and utilize his AK-47s. CT's playing very passively though, not giving anything away. I know this is probably a little bit of a desperate time for the T's, with the fact they have no Molotovs to flush the CTs out on the bomb sites, but actually Finesse opening it up, taking down a Liege. Big scalp to take, and maybe caught out of position there.
And a long way from rotations right now to get Hiko help. Therefore, he deploys the smoke nade onto Monster. Give himself a forward position as well. He's going to try and be unorthodox and catch them off guard when they walk in because he has to. He's got to play a gamble here to win these duels. If he doesn't get at least 2 on the entry, it's going to be very hard for this retake to happen. Fugly might get caught right now. Cutler, we lost vision of him. He didn't push forward. I thought he might. And in they go. Hiko's gone far back inside the site on Adren's arrival. That gives up platform, but the nade comes through. That doesn't actually do as much damage as I would have thought. And the 2 kills from CLG, this bodes very well for them. As Fugly's caught off-site, but Hiko is on it, and down he goes. CLG, this one's definitely got to go their way as just Nitro remains with 16 HP.
Yep, so Nitro, not really many options here. He's just going to have to pull back and save the gun. Came down to a Liege, giving his frag away towards Shaw there. Maybe, I didn't see how the frag went down. It looked like he got caught out of position. Hiko on very low HP as well as the execution came in. Pretty clean stuff for them, and that's a round they did have to win, like I said, not having the Molotovs or the smoke grenades to actually do a full execution towards A, so perhaps getting a little bit lucky getting that pick onto a Liege. But nonetheless, it's a decent round for CLG, and hopefully they can get themselves some momentum here. They don't want to drop any men. They want to make sure they get 5 men remaining so they can actually start building some economy now. Looks like Nitro will be saving the gun this time.
Not so sure. JDM gets him right at the end.
Well, this is the chance now for CLG to bounce back into this. You can see the money's not as strong as I thought it would be for Liquid. One player, Adren, after he kept that FAMAS, will have 9k. Potentially could drop some 5.7s, for example, to his teammates and say, yeah, PGL, that looks like that's exactly what he will be doing. So 3 5.7s going down for them. And it just means he can keep a nice healthy bank and help those guys out as well. They won't be getting too much more apart from smoking a few flashbangs, but they will be stacking towards middle. That's where the T's are going as well. They should be aware of what's going on.
And now the boot's on the other foot in terms of money because Team Liquid limited to just the pistols, despite only losing 1 round in this half. Just goes to show how much kills matter because CLG's given themselves a chance in limiting them. And it's not like they're super poor either. Adren still has 6,300 here. They're just playing the long game right now. Speaking of long game, Nitro getting the first kill. That's going to help things out in this matter. As Cutler's gone, and Nitro's going to come around. If he could even just pick up more, if they could just do economic damage while saving up money themselves. Bit of a double win in the intentions. Elige gets behind. He looks to make that shot easy. Well, he took his time to line it up, but it doesn't work out as such, and Finesse gets the kill. Finesse follows that up with another onto Adren, and that will do it. As Hayes gets Nitro, 9 now rounds for CLG, but guns right back up for Team Liquid.
Yeah, should have a reasonably healthy buy here. Actually, looking like Elige and Nitro in a difficult situation. Adren can definitely get the AWP. He's got 8k, so he will do that. So they're going to be relying on him to actually bring this round back in their favor, because you look at the buy they've got, one kit. I was going to say, Adren, please buy a kit. Do not repeat the same incident as the other day. So 1 kit bought for him, but only a few smokes, and looks like a very fast B play coming in perhaps. Smokes going over. Tarek has got the bomb towards B. And flashbangs go over. Here we go. Hayes going to be leading the charge.
And the flashes are successful. Look how far off the site they're forced. Liquid back away to the water. As everyone was blind, they do still have Hiko getting aggressive towards Sandbags. That pays off with a kill against Cutler. And the shot from Elige, it actually comes out successful against Hayes. So Liquid are holding very well to this B site. Tarek finally getting a response. Doubly so. Back to 3 versus 2. And a chance as Finesse will join in with a pop flash through and finding Hiko. Now it's down to 2 versus 2. But Adren and Fugly combine in the end to give it 13 for Liquid.
Wow, so CLG actually made...
though.
Yeah, it was a decent decision to go towards B. They knew the economy for CTs wouldn't be great. No incendiaries to actually hold them off. But Hiko, so strong, receiving those entry kills and making a good job of it as well. So 13 rounds on the board for in favor of Team Liquid. But like you said, money's still strong for CLG. Get the AWP. Adren got it on hand as well. Where is he going to be going? It looks like he'll be boosted up in the flower bed this time. And JDM heading over to long, so we could see some AWP battles about to go down.
Adren's waiting on the flower bed with Nitro forward to that as well, like you said. So who's going to win? The peeker or the one holding the angle? And
nice.
Statistically proven to be the case, it is the one holding the angle. Adren to win the duel yet again. That's been a key battle all evening long. CLG still wants this A site though. They'll get up on the precipice of the stairwell and try and fight their way forward. Molotovs will hold them in place, and look where Nitro's shown up from. Hi, peekaboo, I'm behind, and now it's a kill, but down by Finesse. Does mean there's still a chance for CLG to open up this bomb site. A man down in doing so, that's the problem. And the bomb, it's still in the bathroom, so even if they wanted to turn their attention with time in their favor back to the B site, they'll have to grab that before they even can consider it. And without the smoke that was initially concealing it, it becomes more of a problem. Specifically with Elige having his eyes in that direction. Hiko holding B alone.
Seems like the CTs aren't aware of what that bomb is because they're not actually watching it too much. T's making their way over now.
Trying to play forwardly with this op behind the truck, but aggressive open angle. Elige finds Finesse coming in through long. Again, stepping up when he needs to, Elige. Been big in big moments, and for rather Cutler, god damn, it's going to do it again. Take down Elige with the AK-47, but Adren's changed his angle. He knows he has to without his teammate. Nice no-scope to hit Tarek very close. And even though he goes down, it gave Hiko the time to wrap around, and it's 14, 2 to go for Team Liquid. And CLG, they've got money still, but just barely. Well, it's only on 2 players, actually, when I say that.
Yeah, that's it. So they can afford to drop some Gillo, I think. But it looks like Tech9's coming out. Hayes and Finesse with the AKs. Yeah, this is it. They can't, well, to be fair, this round they have to win. They can't allow Liquid to go to the map. Well, series points here with so many to go. So they are going to be forcing into this round. You can see Fugly on the MP7 as well. So money definitely not great in the Team Liquid camp either. As they make their way to the top and middle once again. Not too much aggression shown from the CTs, but Adren will be in the bathroom. Definitely an area he favours. And they're just trying to bait out the shot there. Does come in. Doesn't land anything though.
Watch Elige, he's pushed through Monster. He's going to come through short pipe. He actually hasn't looked to his right. Finesse is looking at the wall to set up a smoke. They're both beside each other and neither know it. Who's going to turn around first? It's Finesse, and he's a bit surprised. I think that Elige is there. What is he doing? How did he get there? Lucky to still be alive. He was at that point, but big kill for CLG to get. As it also drops another weapon on their side, able to now be picked up by Tarek, which means there's 4 rifles up and 2 men down for Liquid. They may just do this. Another one now on Fugly, and they've got the B bomb site to their favor. How do they deal with this? Adren's already looking to save, but Cutler's lurking in this A site. He should be able to down him. If he's not prepared, not looking in the correct direction, Nitro fights his way into safety with Hayes going out. He's far enough away from the action. He should be able to hold on to his gun. But Adren's still a worry.
He's going down. It is.
AWP, thank you very much. Well, that's why you go all in. You said it. They couldn't get to overtime point. They couldn't get to series point. By picking up all these weapons and winning on this force buy, it really puts Liquid on the back foot. They've only got $1,200, $1,250 on Fugly, in fact, as their highest paid player right now.
Yeah, so there was a chance for CLG to get back into this. This is definitely it. You can see the money heavily effective for them. $1,400 only on Elige there. So they did save an AK though. Well, actually, was it just a FAMAS? I thought they had the AK. So he saves a FAMAS. And that's not going to be too helpful, I'm afraid. These other guys can't really afford to buy into any of this. And we get maybe a couple of PC-50s on the board. Actually, only going to be one. And HE grenades player as well. So let's see what CLG propose here. Just trying to bait towards B here. Finesse is throwing over some nades and a Molotov. And this actually will work pretty well. As all 5 players, it seems like, are stacked towards the B-bomb site. As 3 of the terrorists make their way up along with the bomb as well.
Everybody in the server very close in kill distribution. No one lagging behind. No one really stepping ahead for impact. You could argue Elige has been big. Hiko in a few clutches. Nitro's entries in the first half doesn't matter. All that matters now is round totals, and CLG put their best foot forward to take this one against the Pistols, and Hiko's FAMAS with the first man down. Nitro taken by FNS. Perhaps we should get the clue that he wants to be called Finesse at this point, as he's lengthened his name to do so.
True. Well, it should be a pretty simple round now, as they do go into the A-bomb site. CTs are aware and starting to fall off the B site. Finesse just going to be waiting for them. Should be some pretty simple kills for him there. There's the first one, taking down Elige. Now the rest of the CTs, they have got the FAMAS in hand, so considering the money situation for them, just probably want to save that. The 2 USPs with him though, they can afford to actually go check out. Whether they can find a kill. And you can see Adrent is telling his teammates, get in there and hide, we'll cover you. So maybe there's going to be the bodyguards while they wait for the T's to kind of hunt them down.
Hiko will stare above him too, just in case there's any chance anyone will get close enough, and there may. Finesse is getting closer with every second that goes by, but I don't think there's enough time that he'll get there.
I would say another eco here would be advised for the CTs, you know.
It's not a bad thing. It does mean that we would be at 14-12 before potential.
But if they buy into this one, it's going to fall away from them. I'd definitely say take another eco and make sure you come in with the M4s, AWPs, try and utilize this FAMAS this round, maybe get some PT50s. They've got enough to play with. They shouldn't risk the whole game based on trying to close it out.
Yeah, it is essentially going to be that. They'll force a little bit with pistols. And they're going to give Nitro the FAMAS. That was initially Hiko's. They've gone to PT50s and 5.7s, along with one CZ75, so they've heard you, Henry.
Oh, I'm glad.
They're playing the long game. It's twice we've seen them do that as well. There was another particular round early on that they could have bought into, and they actually saved with only 1 gun up. So Liquid are definitely thinking about these buys very carefully, and it shows. They've played an excellent game so far, but CLG definitely still has a chance to bring this back, as Fugly is searching around the pillar. Smokes on either side of it. It does mean that Liquid's going to have to cross into those smokes to go for the bomb plant, and he knows it, so he's just waiting for someone to do so. But as the smoke's dissolved, he's left in the open, and it's Hayes that will get the kill. Again, though, that only rifle. Nitro's holding it. No armor. Is in the B site. He's gone. Adren gets a kill in return on Hayes. Elige, though, taking a massive amount of damage, down to 11 HP off screen, but watch for Adren, who tries to walk forward again. Damage dealt. 2 players very low now, Cutler and Tarek, both in the teens, and luckily Finesse will take Adren before this can get out of hand because Hiko's still in contention, but both players now locked out on the squeaky door as the bomb finally will get put to rest on top of its designated blast zone, leaving it at 14-12 once this round expires.
Well, there we go then. So the eco for Liquid does ring true, giving themselves a nice healthy buy this round. I'm really glad they did do that. That could have been throwing the game away had they forced with the FAMAS, etc. Adren will pick up the AWP, but CLG definitely have enough money now to last them the rest of the game, has to be said. 10k on Finesse, 8k on JDM, 7k on Tarek. So they're looking pretty strong going forward here. It's just going to come down to this huge round here. Adren going to be boosting himself up instead of Flowerbed this time. Not going to have a Tarek to help him out. Unleash.
Yeah, he doesn't want Tarek's help in this case. It's the last person he wants. Adren wins that same battle again, though, against JDM. You'd think we'd go for the fast peek against it, even potentially pre-fire it in this situation, knowing how desperate this round now is. But it bodes well for Liquid's chances to hit that elusive 15th round. Nitro, good position. This time not checked. They look at the other corner instead. Now Fugly taking Tarek. This is Liquid's round. Absolutely perfect so far. No one even losing a single fraction of health. Just finesse against them, and that's how it'll end. Not any damage dealt by CLG.
Adren picking up 2 frags at the AWP as well. He's won that battle almost 3 times from what I can remember. Down to a long. JDM unable to find the pick. And now they have 3 rounds to close this one out. Series point for Team Liquid. And who would have thought it? You can see that Adren winning this matchup tonight. Featured matchup on the screen. That's pretty impressive. Adren definitely bouncing back from his recent form. Only one of the quieter players has been very strong tonight. Like I said, the money's still very strong in the CLG camp. They've got AWPs, AKs, full buys, Molotovs. And, JDM with the AWP just trying to work out every angle he can. George Short waiting for a boost as well.
You know how much this means.
This means everything. Whoever loses this game is out. Not going to the PGL final.
Exactly. And we've been hyping up the rematch between CLG with the game in hand for Luminosity. We may not even get that. It might be Liquid. It would have been the 3rd time in a week that we would have seen CLG go against Luminosity. Let's not rule anything out just yet, but Liquid, they may get the honors instead.
Time ticking away now. Less than a minute to go. Make it 50 seconds. JDM going up to short, seeing if he can just get a chance. Peek here. No one's going to be facing him.
Nitro spams in toward Squeaky. Doesn't connect on any of those shots. Still don't know damage dealt from either side. Smoke's coming in. They want the B site. They're going to go aggressively as well. But Liquid's got 3 players here, and CLG doesn't know it just yet. Even though Cutler's trying to lurk over on the A site and distract and pull anyone away from it, it's not going to amount to much at all as Elige gets through the smoke down toward Toxic, but a big shot from JDM. Bomb gets planted. Hiko responds with 1, but if that first frag went the other way and it was a 5-on-3, it could be over already. Instead, a chance here for CLG to secure the positions. Flash is good from Nitro, at least enough to forward his position, but he needs to hit the shot on Tarek because Tarek is good enough to equally answer that in return, and Nitro won't stick around to allow that to happen, but CLG, look at the position. They've got it all covered. It's down to Hiko. And rather, he's gone, so it's Adren to run away with the AWP, and we're going at least 1 further.
Wow, that shot from JDM. Like he said, that kind of tied it all up. How do you miss that one? They were going to lose 2 or 3 men in that situation. And it was a really nice hole from Liquid to begin with. They rode the clock down to about 20 seconds and actually started dropping the Molotovs and forcing the T's to run through it. It looked like everything was perfect, but that big headshot from JDM really did tie up the round and gave them great footing for that. 2 to go. Can they hold on? Having a look at the CT money now. They are going to be buying up into this, but it's definitely going to be more of a force buy. Adren has got the AWP. If they lose this one, they're onto an eco. So this round...
And eco at 15-14,
exactly,
which would pretty much put overtime pending. MR5 overtime as well.
So this round could decide it all, to be honest.
Oh, different approach. This time JDM wins the duel because he's the stationary man. And Adren, who gets just a little bit too cheeky, finally gets caught out. Good read by JDM.
The defensive play has been working out so well from Adren as well. So the chance for him to go aggressive backfires a little bit. They're going to a 5-on-4 situation now. Orp will not be able to be recovered. Fugly still is going to be on the Famis here. And now they only have 1 kid in hand as well. Not too much utility. 3 smokes remaining. Some decent damage done to Tarek though.
Eco trying to seek and destroy toward the monster. Has the support of Elige inside the site, but it is a split. Fugly and Nitro will play together on A. Good shot by Elige. That's through plywood. That's a spam. They haven't really connected on that all game, but the one time they do, it couldn't have come at a better time. As we sit on match point, and they were a man down. This brings it back. Cutler again is going to be playing the lurk. Nitro's going to deploy smoke. That'll slow it down, but also mean that he doesn't know there's only 1 member here. And if Cutler gets that kill, he won't have a read on it. And Cutler's getting closer and closer on to Nitro's position. I dare say he's got the advantage right now because Nitro's got no clue that he's to his right. When he walks back out, though, it is Nitro, the man who gets the kill. And now they can just focus on B. They initially pulled a rotation back from Fugly, but he's since turned his direction back in. And Liquid are in great position. Remember, it all came from that initial kill in the spam to close this one. All 3 members coming from Monster, and Elise finds the first kill. It's actually Fugly. They line up, but they don't close it. Now they do, as Elise will get the last kill. Nitro beforehand, and Liquid, against all odds, they'll pick this series up. And what a great series it was.
Wow, so Adren goes down first. JDM finally winning that AWP battle, and then Elise somehow pulling it back with the spam. What a time for it to come as well. Nitro playing fantastically. Cutler going in for the lurk. Had Cutler found that kill as well, that could have been enough to pull CT to back. So really back and forth round, came right down to the wire, but Liquid just doing enough to get themselves over the finish line.
And that was an online match that had a very LAN feel to it.
Oh yeah,
very
definitely.
slow, calculated, serious. Timeouts used when they should have been. Money saved as it should have been. The intensity was there. The gameplay. I mean, that had all the feelings of a LAN to me when we were in there casting that game. And that's, I mean, impressive for Liquid to come back and respond that way after how, I have to say it, how poor they were 2 nights ago in the same matchup.
Yeah, what a statement that is. They're showing they're a team not to be reckoned with. They can actually show they can compete with this level of CS after getting pretty battered against CLG the other night. They seem to have bounced back, worked on their fundamentals, and actually looking very strong tonight. So hats off to them winning that series 3-2.
And speaking of LAN, CLG's chances of making it, they're gone. They're out. PGL, no more. They'll bow out here in second or third, I suppose, in the group, as it is Luminosity now to still play for the chance against Liquid. And Luminosity have a map at hand. Let's look at the scoreboard from the final map. This is only a fraction of what the night was like. Everybody with kills in just about every single game.
Yeah, this is a much closer match. Like, you see everyone giving their all into this final map. No one really lagging behind. Hiko, with 15 frags, it felt like he had some big presence on the map anyway, so you don't really take anything away from that. It's difficult to even work out who was the MVP there. So many big moments from teams out. I think just looking towards the CLG lineup, you can see them actually getting more kills as well. So interesting finish there. You can see most of the Team Liquid, 19, 19, 19, 20. That's a really nice way to finish it. I'm glad it came right down to the wire on almost every single map as well. What a great series this has been.
That's absolutely brilliant. And we'll look at the heat map. Lots of rounds to dissect yet again.
Well then, so
how different is it?
It's Overpass is always going to be quite similar like this. You can see CLG on their T sides not actually getting any kills towards the long area. That's kind of interesting, is the fact that it felt like JDM was actually losing that battle to Adrent almost every single time. So they actually didn't get any contention there whatsoever or kills. So made a lot of their presence towards the B side. A, not so much. But yeah, Team Liquid kind of they won their terrorist half as well. Much better. You remember they only got 3 rounds the first time we saw them. And
a perfect person to get the last MVP. You talked about him. You picked him at the start of the night, saying he had to answer JDM. He had to match his talent with the AWP, and he's often called out for not doing that. Well, tonight he definitely did. There it is. MVP, 19 kills, 7 headshots. AWP was the deadliest weapon. 16 deaths, but that's expected in a close game. So KDA, yeah, okay, 1.2, but a 1.2 rating still in a match like that is impressive.
Has to be said as well, Adren is the in-game leader for this team, and their mid-round calls were much better tonight. Actually seemed like they've been doing their homework, worked on the fundamentals of the map, and their executions, once they got the picks, were perfect as well.
And we called them out for being really disorganized and exactly that, indecisive in rounds of the first night. Tonight definitely looked like authority. So
yeah,
the team was on the same page. Everyone looked to be getting along. There was no issues. I thought initially on the catch there was that one Molotov throw, but again, that was really minor. It was just one of those things to highlight, and they silenced that because that was brilliant. Really, really good games. That was, I think,
satisfying.
Yeah, very satisfying. And we've only got 1 night left before we hit the LAN for PGL. So we're finishing with a bang. And I imagine tomorrow night, Liquid, they're going to have to play every bit that good against Luminosity. Now, here's an interesting fact. When Luminosity came to North America to play in the Pro League, the first North American team to beat them, when everyone said, no one will, they're untouchable, who's going to be, oh, Cloud9 will, no, Cloud9, they lost their first game. It was Liquid that beat them the first game. So there's a chance.
So Luminosity do have the one map advantage, so only potentially 4 maps to be played, but still, if Liquid can play like that, I think the only problem for them is they need to work on their train. Train looked like one of the maps they still haven't worked on a lot.
Absolutely. And how do they veto that out? Because naturally you'd expect they're going to want to take a Cobblestone.
They
know that Luminosity maybe aren't as good lately on Cobble as CLG were, but they did win against them in the best of 3 the other evening. Yes. So that's still something they have to look at. You're right. One of those 2 maps has to be strengthened for Liquid. But baby steps. This is an improvement. Their map pool, that'll come over time. May not be soon enough for tomorrow evening with a map at hand. We'll see what happens. Let's look at Vulcan. I have to admit my strategy was blown out of the water. I wanted 3-0 for CLG. For the sake of this, for the sake of what we got, that couldn't have asked for a better match. But
so close.
I'm screwed.
Why am I never going to win?
You may still. I'm done. I'm out of it because I put Tarek as my shot caller, and I had 2 Liquid players, which means, I'll only have 5 playing again tomorrow night.
So PGL are leading the charge, but we still have a chance. This continues to tomorrow, right?
Does.
So it does.
I'm out of it. I'm just going to bow out now.
Well, it's fine. Thanks for playing, though.
Go out on the season with a bang.
So we have one more night, Matthew. It's come to an end.
It has.
It's our time in Bucharest. It's been emotional, I have to say. One more night to go. I think we're going to bring a little surprise tomorrow, aren't we?
I think so. We'll end it with a swift statement, but again, the match itself will be a swift statement. I think that's it. I'm almost speechless. There's not really much more to dissect from that game. Just brilliant performance from both teams. More so impressed by Liquid on the return. We'll see if they can match the task tomorrow evening.
Absolutely.
We'll see you then. Don't go anywhere. Go somewhere. It's a day later, but come back.
And not really finding many picks. This time they're actually trying to do a little bit of change of mentality. We see top teams like Feeball. 2 smokes going down, flashbangs coming through, bomb gets planted. There is a little bit of...
It's not going to be in position to do so as Cutler will come back around the box and a jump shot.
One Liquid are very thankful to actually take, because that puts him on winning this half. 8
tonight, but he's got to try and use pistols now to do it. And Tarek is there to come out and support his teammate. We're down to just one remaining. Forward of this, and that's pretty much going to do it. JDM down, the bomb's in the hands of Tarek with